Dunja Ventimiglia wants to know whether there is a message from her mother, Magda. I'll use these mediumship cards here. Each card has a pre-written message or sentence on it, and as we shuffle the cards, Spirit manipulates them and places each one in position to provide a message. Spirit in this case being Magda. So with no further ado, we'll ask Magda to join us, shall we, in this setting. As we shuffle, we just simply say, Spirit of Magda, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Magda, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Magda, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Magda, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Magda, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Magda, through these cards and move among us. Blessed be to Magda and all absent friends. And we just cut the deck there, and where the deck splits is where it's thought to be that Dunja, it's thought to be at its most energetic point. I'll just pop them just there where you can see them. And then first of all, before we do anything else, we'll welcome Magda to our setting, because she's now joined us as she places her energy into the cards there. So welcome, Magda, to our setting. We thank you for your time. We thank you for your energy. And we thank you for your presence. And we now will see what the first thing you'd like to say. I normally deal out about 3 cards initially. If any more, if we feel any more want to come out, then we'll go by how we feel, what we sense there. The first card we'll deal on is the first thing Magda wants to say, isn't it? So let's just see what Mum wants to say to you there, what your mother would like to convey first of all. Now there's an interesting card, isn't it? An interesting message. She's just saying to you there, Dunja, that there's no time where I am. Time is only on the earth. Now this always tend to focus on this when we're doing mediumship readings, because especially the video ones like we're doing here, because in a way, because Magda isn't enslaved to time anymore, it means she can move through time and space freely. And literally, as you're watching this recording, you could say she's there with you now. She's there with us now, isn't she? I mean, she's with us now anyway, as we know, aren't you, Magda? But what we mean to say is, instead of thinking of it as watching a recording, you could be actually be partaking in it as we speak now. And I suppose if you watch the repeat of it, if you're into watching repeats, then maybe it's happening again. I don't know. Magda can move through time and space because it's irrelevant. There's no need for it anymore. Whereas maybe what I'm sort of sensing here as though time was precious to her. She did value it. Not just life, because life is precious, we all value that, don't we? But most of us do. But in that sense, she valued time. She was aware that time was a sort of finite resource, and she was prepared to use that time wisely, or even use it to enjoy herself and get the best of what she could. But she's saying here that time is on the earth. Where I am, Dunja, time, there's no such thing. That's probably why there's a rose in the hourglass. I always think of that. That's probably why there's a rose in the hourglass, to just express love, because time it has manifested and turned itself into love instead, eternal love. Although when you say eternal, you're sort of trying to sort of say time forever, when really, I suppose it's hard to grasp, isn't it, Magda? Really, what you mean, but it's interesting nevertheless. I want to move on to what you want. What else you want to now say there, Magda, and what you'd like to say to Dunja there. I'll just flip the card nice and slow as we do, and not to disturb any energy or whatever, as you would say. And this card just says we are so connected. I got, like I say, it's just saying that although you can watch the recording there and whatever, I'm still with you. However many times you watch this recording while I'm here during this sitting, you can have this sitting as many times as you want. We're so connected. We don't really need a sitting because we're connected anyway. I'm with you there anyway. That's what she seems to be saying. Him using them cards over there, him using those cards there, really, that's just a one-off thing. But nevertheless, I'm with you always. That's what she seems to be sort of putting across there. But she is sort of latched onto you, and there is a connection with you and your mum even now. I want to pull out another card here to now. The third card, as you say, minimum pull 3, this, that, the other, or beginning, middle and end, or whatever you want to call it. And then I got a sort of sense as though 2 more want to come out as well after. Let's just see what this one here is, and what that energy is just vibrating there. And she's just saying that I have a new understanding. And we were just on about that, weren't we, Magda, where you were sort of saying that it's hard to sort of grasp or comprehend, I suppose you could say, sort of being in a place where there's no time. Is it eternity in that sense, where you're sort of hinting at time, aren't you, when you say eternity, really? Or is it just being and that's it? But you've got a new understanding, and I suppose you now do understand, and you understand what we are trying to understand. I get a funny feeling as though that's what she's saying. Although we're so connected there, although we are connected, Dunja, and you might not understand it, nevertheless, I've got a new understanding now of what's going on, of where I am in the spirit plane, as you would say. I'll pull a surface of these extra 2 cards. I want to see what extra's coming up here. And she's just saying here that she's just saying I see all of your thoughts, Dunja, and that's, I suppose that's part of being in spirit, isn't it? Where you can, I suppose it's a bit like mind reading, isn't it? But in the sense, because you're not in the physical anywhere anymore there, Magda, you can move through time, space, and through, I mean, we communicate through dreams and thoughts. Anyway, it's the mind that sees, isn't it? And we can communicate to the mind through spirit that way. And I suppose that's what it is, in the sense you see all your thoughts because you communicate with those thoughts. Remember, you're so connected, aren't you, you two? And that's the nice thing about it, isn't it? And then, of course, this Saturn card here, I said, was sort of destined to come out. There's an interesting card to sort of close on, I suppose you could say, maybe. She's just saying that it was my time to go. That's just the way things are. When your number's up, and you're on the lake and you go out for a row the boat or whatever on the lake, and you've got about however long, 10, 15 minutes or whatever it is. And then your number 9, they just say, come in number 9, your time's up, and I suppose if you want to pay for another go, then you do. But in this case, you only get one go, don't you? and it's coming. I mean, you might get another go in another sort of lifetime when you come back. Maybe if you reincarnate or whatever. But even then, if you do that, you probably won't remember being the person you were, and you'll have to learn everything from scratch again, as if you may as well be somebody else, aren't you? Really, that's the dilemma, or not the dilemma. That's the sort of what is it? What am I thinking of there? The irony, is it, or something? Maybe. But either way, notice how the sea, the beach, they've got the footprints there that have just washed away suddenly. It was my time to go. I was there creating footprints, and then I wasn't. It was just my time to go. I had to sort of, as you should say, come in number 4 or come in number 9 or whatever he says. It was my number was up, and just like everybody's number's going to be up, and isn't it, Magda? But nevertheless, it only in the physical, of course, because we're so connected. As you say, only in the physical we're so connected, and time doesn't exist. So it's like an eternity, but at the same time, just is. And I've got a new understanding of that, and that's the main thing. I got a funny feeling she says she wants you to understand, but she knows you can't there, Dunja, yet. But nevertheless, if you can just accept that it was just her time to go, then you can maybe accept that when it's your time to go, that you will meet again, won't you? And we know that is very important, that we understand that. And maybe that's part of the new understanding, isn't it, Magda? So with that, it was great speaking to you, Magda. Great just having a few moments there with you. Feel privileged there to have had a word, as you would say. So what we'll do, we'll just gather your cards up now there, Magda, and I'll just put them in a neat pile for you. And just before we say goodbye, just want to bear in mind that connection is love, isn't it? That love is the law, love is the bond. Merry did we meet there, Magda? Magda, merry do we now part? And merry may we meet again, Magda. And until then, we might meet again in another mediumship reading, as you would call it. Maybe later on, who knows? Or whoever you want to come through with next time, Magda. For now, I want to say blessed be to Magda and all absent friends. Bye, Magda, and you take care now until next time, I'm sure. And we'll just place the deck on top of Magda's cards, and we lay Magda back to rest, back into the summerlands, back into heaven, until we meet again. And what we do, we'll just close our eyes and just imagine, but visualise, I suppose you could say, a door wide open with a bright light shining through it, and then just imagine that light is shining there, and the door starts closing. Make the door close there, nice and slowly, but it just fades out until it's just a crack in the door. You can just see it there, the door's ajar. When is a door not a door? When it's ajar. That's supposed to be a joke. And as you can just see that, if you can just stop the laughing there, you just make the door close completely until it's dark, and then open your eyes again, and with a smile on your face. Don't let's weep for Magda because she's gone. Let's smile because she's lived. And we open our eyes and we just say, blessed be to Magda and all absent friends.